thank you all for coming. Kathy is trying to challenge me and challenge the rest of the board. We were in a meeting until 1 in the morning, but good things get done.
Here's the coffee.
Here's the coffee. All right, well, first of all, I'd like to thank Kathy. I'd like to thank Julie, who's not here, the Chamber Board, and the Northbrook businesses for hosting this event. We've had such a long relationship, and I really do appreciate it. Also, a shout out to the library. Kate Hall and her staff are phenomenal, and I think the library board is phenomenal. They work with the community. They're always the first in line to say yes, and let's figure out how. So hats off to them. So as Kathy mentioned, 3 of the trustees are here, and I could probably take the entire 30 minutes talking to you about how fortunate Northbrook is to have elected officials of this caliber. These are folks who are truly neighbors, who are invested in making the community the best place it can be. None of them are about ego. They are absolutely about doing what it takes to make Northbrook a good place. So anybody that knows me knows that I love any home improvement show, any tool, any crafty kind of thing. And so one of the things I thought about as I speak to you today is to talk about Northbrook's toolbox. What are our strengths, and how are we going to plan for our future? How are we going to sharpen and hone those tools? So we know, and I can tell you, this is like my mother telling you, what a good daughter I am, right? I can tell you that Northbrook's a safe community. The numbers bear it out, but we really, really are. I can tell you that we're welcoming and inclusive. We're financially sound. We continue to maintain that AAA bond rating. We offer world-class services, as everybody saw. Northbrook plows its streets, its side streets. We salt, we prep the roads. We offer world-class services. And we're a local and regional draw for shopping, dining, and events. I'm going to do a little commercial for one of our businesses, House 406. It's lovely there, farm to table. Please consider stopping by. Northbrook, just, with all of our successes, we have been able this year to decrease property taxes. Who does that? Last year, property taxes were flat. This year, we decreased them. And with that, we were able to increase public safety pension contributions. We continue to support not-for-profits. This is why our police department is unlike other police departments. You see on the news that police really get a bad rap. The Village of Northbrook prioritizes mental health. And so we continue to contribute money to not-for-profits that aid our police and fire departments in helping people in crisis and helping to prevent crisis. So we continue to do that. Our vacancy rates are low. Retail 4.5%, office 14.8%, and industrial flex 3.3%. In some cases, we're at the national average. In other cases, we're well below it. And just an interesting fact in Northbrook, there are 13 different languages spoken. We're award-winning. SoulSmart is a national organization that recognizes local governments for being solar ready, for promoting solar. There are 3 different rating categories, gold, silver, and bronze. In the nation, Northbrook is one of 71 communities that are SoulSmart Gold rated. For the last 27 years, the Government Finance Officers Association has awarded Northbrook an award for the way that it presents its budgets. They're easy, they're readable, and they also are very high standard-wise. And then this year, we were fortunate to be the first municipality to win the Emerging Municipalities Award from the Open Communities Association, which is a Winnetka-based not-for-profit that's been around for 50 years. And they gave us an award relative to our affordable housing plan. But this is, again, where I bring up my mom, right? So my mom is gonna tell you that I'm like great, right? Or she's gonna tell me. But in reality, you gotta ask my kids. So what did we do? We said, look, we know Northbrook is great, but how do we communicate that to folks who maybe wanna come here, who wanna live here, who wanna put a business here, who wanna make Northbrook, or even consider Northbrook as an option. So John is here from A5. I don't know where he is, but he was here. We worked with a group called A5, and they helped us interview more than 1,000 community stakeholders to help identify what people like about Northbrook and where they want to see Northbrook going. So we learned that Northbrook is community-minded, sustainable, friendly, people-centered, and inviting. Of course, we talk about our education, unmatched. Outstanding municipal services and amenities, a good location, and a small town feel. And what's next? Our future includes inclusivity, social and cultural opportunities, and downtown vibrancy. How much have I heard that? So what we did was, I asked a couple of businesses to just talk to us, talk to you, about their experience with Northbrook. New Medical is a business that manufactures medical equipment, ships medical treatment supplies, creams, bandages with scar medication, and they manufacture in Northbrook and they ship around the world. We worked with them to approve a 6B, which is a Cook County financing, tax financing advantage, to allow them to purchase a 47,000 square foot facility in Northbrook to expand their business. And then Northbrook Toyota, if you've been on Frontage Road, you'll see that Toyota demolished a parking lot, an excess building, and they are going to be building a brand new state-of-the-art facility. So let's hear from Mike Leach.
As residents of the village may have seen, we are constructing an all-new 50,000 square foot Toyota retail sales and service location right here in Northbrook. The village team has been a great partner to work with in achieving our shared goals of building a functional, attractive, and environmentally friendly facility that will be a pleasure to do business in for our team members and our guests for years to come.
Okay, and so thank you, Mike. And now we're going to hear from Mike Hanna at New Medical.
We have been in Northbrook since our inception in 2004. The village of Northbrook is large enough to provide a variety of service and support, yet small enough to value their strong relationship with our business and others. The village and the Chamber of Northbrook have provided excellent support and guidance as we have grown, and most recently acquiring a 47,000 square feet facility in Northbrook that tripled our square footage and allows for our future growth and expansion.
Okay, so now that we've talked to all these people, we have all this data, we know that Northbrook is cool. The question is, how do we translate that to other people? If I show you this logo here, I'm guessing 99% of you know what it is. And I'm guessing the thought that this logo may evoke is technology, clean, luxury, perhaps forward thinking. That's what this logo evokes. So the question was, how do we take what we know about Northbrook and translate that to people as an economic development tool and also a tool for community pride? I'm unveiling to you today Northbrook's new logo and Northbrook's new tagline. So a lot of what we heard, it was about green. So the designers, they met with the villagers and business owners, and they talked about how this may look like a leaf or kind of a yin and yang. But we've been using our corporate seal forever. The same thing we stamp on plats is the thing that we've been putting on all sorts of signs. So the goal will be to transition to this logo, this kind of brand. For internal folks, right, for residents, true north. True north it signifies a direction. Pride in the community. Thrive here is going to be an economic development motto. You can come here and you can thrive here. Whether that's living here, opening a business here, even spending time here, thrive here. So as we move forward, we will start to use this kind of messaging on gateway and entry signs, wayfinding signs, our fleet marking, street banners, our newsletters, and that's, I think, tremendously important. So now, moving away from what I kind of get geekly excited over the cool stuff, into some retail demographics. Let's talk about who comes to Northbrook. We worked with a company over this last year called Retail Coach. And this company analyzes cell phone data and helps us understand who's shopping here, what their demographic is, so we can go out to our current businesses or businesses who may want to come here and say, hey, this is why Northbrook is tremendous. Our trade area population is just over 250,000. The average age is 43, the median age is almost 45. Of that trade area population, you've almost got $200,000 in income per household. The median income is $127,000. A household has just under 2 cars, just over 2.5 people. And for those folks who are 25 years old or older, 65.5% of them have a bachelor's degree or higher. This is tremendously useful information for people thinking about coming to our community and investing in our community. Let's talk sales tax. Last year, the Village of Northbrook was 28% over budget with respect to sales tax. One of the things that you can see is down on the end, we are now able to get sales tax for online sales. So for the 2021 year, that was a partial year. But for 2021-22, you can see where the number landed. That's a full year. Drugs and miscellaneous. While we can't separate the data, I'm going to tell you that Curaleaf, our marijuana dispensary, is a significant impact to that number. And we also see that in our restaurants, drinking and eating facilities haven't come back yet from pre-pandemic levels. However, it's skyrocketed since the pandemic. Another interesting fact is where people go to shop. Northbrook Court, still the big dog. $3.1 million in sales tax. I think just, I don't know, Kara will tell me, $3.1 million, I think, in property tax revenue. Downtown is pretty big at $1.2 million. But our second is Willow Festival. So very interesting where we see people shopping. By the way, that Sanders Court Shopping Center needs some work. We are working very hard to try to get that mall turned around. We are going to have to roll up our sleeves and work a little harder, but we're on the task. Talk about development trends. This is something I talked about last night. Single-family home permits, 14 was our high, 54. As we see, they're really going down. 2022, we only had 23. But when you look at multifamily, look where that's going. I had an opportunity to meet with a CEO of a major company, a major national company that's headquartered in Northbrook. And one of the things that she said to me was, the trend is that people are leaving cities, coming out to suburbs, and want multifamily. Whether that's luxury apartment, whether that's townhouse style living, that's what people want. Low maintenance, everything taken care of, and this is what we're seeing here. Okay, Chloe. Right, Chloe? All right, so Chloe is our public safety slide. All right, fire department, how cool is fire department? All right, ISO class 1. I want to make sure I get this right. ISO is an insurance safety rating. And what it really means is, how good are we putting out fires? How good are we at responding? How fast can we get there? What I know about Northbrook is that we're ISO class 1. In the state of Illinois, there are only 29 of the 2,200 fire departments that have an ISO class 1, and we're one of them. In the United States, of the 30,000 fire departments there are, we're one of only 459 with that number 1 rating. This year, we hired 5 new firefighters. We promoted 9 people, and in 2023, we're going to hire 5 more. This year we received 7,500 calls for service. That's 20.5 calls a day. We have 3 fire stations. That's almost an 8% increase over 2021. And it really gets us closer to the levels we were prior to the pandemic. Imagine in the pandemic, people didn't go out as much, and people didn't want to go to the hospital, so they didn't want to call 911. But over the last 5 years, we're seeing an increase in almost 15%. Of those fire department calls, 60% were for emergency medical. Our ambulance needed to go out. 30% were for fire and rescue. Fire, probably a car accident. 10% were for assist. We have a number of folks who fall and can't get up. It's like a commercial, but it's true. And so we have to go out and help lift people. We gave about 4% of our services away in mutual aid, which we're paid for. We received 5.5% mutual aid, and 15, almost 16% of our fire department work went to the Rural Fire Protection District. Police department, take a look, very good. All right, the police department and the fire department never let us brag about them. Because it's, that's what we do, ma'am. We do the dangerous stuff. But I'm so happy today I get to brag about them. So we had 2 life-saving awards this year, 5 commendation letters, 18 notable performances, 31 complimentary calls. We now have a partnership with the Cook County Treatment Response Team. So in addition to the 3 full-time social workers we have at the police department, in addition to the not-for-profits that we work with, we now work with the Cook County Treatment Response Team to respond to people in crisis. This is where policing is great. This is where communities have the resources to diffuse, to de-escalate, to support, rather than drawing weapons. And Northbrook is fortunate because that's the value, and that's what we do. And then, many of you know, there have been a significant amount of anti-Semitic flyers dropped off all over the North Shore at people's homes. Our police department partnered with an organization and trained village staff, 170 staffers, on anti-Semitism and hate crimes. And then we hired 6 new police department personnel this year. But now I have a surprise for you. We're excited. So, Pongo, serious dog. Chloe. I really kind of wanted to bring Chloe today, but I knew we needed to be serious. So we're going to get another police dog, and it's going to be a service dog. One of those that goes out and sniffs out the bad guys. All right. Now, Officer Bujak. Officer Bujak got one of our life-saving awards. When we get a call for medical help, the police department, imagine the police cruisers are out and running around. The ambulance is in the station. The firefighters are in the station, and they have to get in the vehicles and drive there. Officer Bujak arrived at Home Goods when someone was unresponsive and employees were performing CPR on that person. Officer Bujak took his AED, that's the portable defibrillator, got the person ready, he shocked them, he then took over CPR. Paramedics were able to obtain a pulse when they got there, and the man survived. Officer Bujak and 2 employees, according to medical personnel, did everything perfectly. He was calm under pressure, he provided direction and reassurance to the employees, and he executed his training to save a life. His actions are clearly a credit to our entire police department. And while it's all smiles, and I have Chloe, I have Officer Drews here. And as you may expect, sometimes our emergency services are called to residents where a person is beyond the point of saving. And Officer Drews, there was an occasion where Officer Drews was patrolling and she brought Chloe. And the family was deeply comforted by Chloe while the police investigators did everything they needed to do to process the scene, to respectfully remove the person and do what they needed to do. But Chloe, in addition to going to nursing homes and doing fun stuff, really does work at the police department and help care for people who really just need it. All right, our police department is engaging with the community in a new way. And while the village has about 7,000 Facebook followers, the police department needs some love. As you all know, I love my phone. I'm on my phone all the time. You can scan that QR code, go to Facebook, sign up for the police department Facebook page. Just follow them. Lots of good information. Also lots of fun stuff. Police officers playing basketball with residents. Maybe police officers hoisting the Stanley Cup. I don't know. Fun stuff. Sustainability. I don't know if Tessa's here, but Tessa's our sustainability coordinator, and she's just tremendous. The village has 15,000 trees that we care for and maintain. But last year, we gave away 514 trees to people to plant, in addition to the ones we planted ourselves. 600 seed packets, 250 plants, and 180 shrubs. And we had 85 acres of residents participate in No Mow May. Earth Day, we had 750 people attend Earth Day. We recycled light bulbs, bikes, batteries, and e-waste. Behind Village Hall is and actually right between Village Hall and the library, is a community garden. The Organic Gardener is a company in Northbrook, and they worked with us to build this garden. We worked with the food pantry, and we selected produce that would be helpful to the food pantry. We offered classes every other week for residents to help understand, how to garden responsibly and sustainably. And we came up with over 600 pounds of produce for the food pantry this year. At our pumpkin recycling drive at Northbrook Court, we donated we recycled more than 6,000 pounds of pumpkins. And the Mayor's Monarch Pledge Leadership Circle, the National Wildlife Federation has a rating cycle or an award system for municipalities that work to preserve the monarch butterfly. Northbrook is one of 50 communities in the country to be in the Mayor's Monarch Leadership Circle. How about solar? Record-breaking year for us. Last year, we got 49 permit applications for solar. Those are the yellow dots. The purple dots is where we already have solar. This is residential solar. Last year was such a big year, we now have 116. So we nearly doubled. Last year, we nearly doubled what we had. Current tech. Like every one of you, we have a much more mobile workforce. We can be in the field. Each one of our police cars and fire apparatus is its own office, right? They've got computers and printers. We have 172 laptops, 164 desktops, and 172 tablets or smartphones. And we stopped 230,000 cyber attacks last year. Phishing emails, virus emails. The village has such high security that we stopped that. My business partner, her daughter went to Knox College, and they offered free LifeLock protection because their data was compromised and they had to pay ransom for it. This is very real. So how about these license plate readers? Really, really cool stuff. License plate readers, sure, they help us catch bad guys. But on a more positive note, about 6 months ago, an elderly individual went missing. After they were reported missing, we used our license plate reader technology to figure out where the person was and when. Within 6 hours of the individual being reported missing, actually leaving home, they were located in another suburb and returned safely home. So that's an example of how we are becoming smarter as a city. We're using smart technology to help the public. Community partners. This is where I've decided that I'd like to give a member of our community, a not-for-profit, a commercial, in my State of the Village address every year. So here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Totaling 2. Totaling 2 Community is a Northbrook-based not-for-profit that helps individuals living with intellectual and developmental disabilities, 18 and older, and they help them find employment, promote independence, and make strong social connections. The library is actually one of the businesses that has employed Totaling 2 clients. So if you are interested, and all of these companies here have been interested in doing, please consider taking one of the children in our communities, These are your friends, children, your kids, siblings, friends, maybe even your kids' friends. And they work here. Please help out. All right, so let's talk about what's next. All right. We have been part of a consortium of local municipalities considering banning gas-powered leaf blowers, or really helping to reduce their use. So it's very likely that the village board will consider some kind of modification to this gas-powered leaf blower use. You know, maybe folks can use it at the spring cleanup, at the fall cleanup. But during the year, maybe rely on something that's more environmentally friendly, like a rake or a battery-powered leaf blower. One of the things we're set to consider is a single-use bag tax. Other municipalities have it, other states have it. And we would use the funds to support businesses who comply with that tax, and also use the funds to plant more trees. We have a green business certification program, and I'd like to thank, once again, the library, Granite Construction, UL, LRS, Shred Spot, and the Claim Company. We are creating a program, and we piloted this last year, where it's kind of like our own LEED certification, but for sustainable practices. So we're going to have businesses have an opportunity to employ some really easy, kind of low-hanging fruit, low-cost, sustainable practices and be certified. And advertise it to the community that you're a green business. And on the water meters, we have over 14,000 water meters in the community, but we're going to go digital. You're going to be able to do what you do with your electricity, right? You're going to look at your smartphone, and you're going to know, holy cow, I have a toilet that's running. Or, boy, oh boy, my water bill is looking kind of high. My kids are home from college, and we've got 30-minute showers. Whatever it is, we're going to be able to tell, and it'll be an upgrade for folks. We're taking our zoning code, and we're embarking on a 2-year process to modernize the whole thing. As you all know, or maybe I say a lot, I hate it when somebody says to me, Northbrook is not business friendly. I hate it. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to take that zoning code and we're going to make it a 2023 zoning code. We want to simplify processes. We still want to be safe, but we want to do things that make sense. A community survey. This is a perhaps scary thing for some folks to do, but it's a thing that I find that our staff is embracing. We're going to survey every single department. We're going to offer the public an opportunity to rate us on service and our performance in every single department. So we have benchmarks, and so we know how to improve, and we know how to do more of what we do well. We're going to be taking some of the money that's in our affordable housing fund and really try to figure out how to put that to use. And we're going to capitalize on some grant-funded projects. The village has secured, thank you Public Works, almost $5 million, $4.9 million this year in surface transportation program awards. We are going to be using those for construction from Shermer Road, from Willow to Walters, Skokie Boulevard from Lake Cook to the village limits, and from Walters, from Facein to Shermer. So that's very helpful, and we'll continue to do that. Now the big one. We've got a great bunch of village staff who have made old, kind of obsolete buildings work for a very long time. But we're sort of at the point where we can't have that go on. We've got a police station that is not modernized, doesn't allow for maybe the best flow. So we're going to have to take a look at replacing that police station. Fire station number 11, which is on Dundee Road near Skokie Boulevard, that's an original. It's a special building. I'm a little embarrassed to say it doesn't have quarters for women. So our female firefighters utilize the administrative space for their sleeping quarters when necessary. And firefighters are 24 hours on, 48 hours off. We are storing the equipment. We're kind of up to the rafters. So fire station number 11 is going to get probably a new spot. And then we have a public works garage that was built in the 1950s when fire trucks were like this big. Now fire trucks are like this big, and they don't fit in there. And so we need a new public works garage. So we are in the midst of working with architects and builders to determine what our needs are, what our space can be. Maybe we can leverage some partnerships to make a facility that can be used and modernized by the community and other communities for public safety. Mark your calendars. Coming right up, February 26th. Kathy, raise your hand. The YMCA and the Community Commission are partnering for the cultural fair. We've got a spring event, which is a wine event, and the Park District. Molly is here somewhere. We're very excited for that. We're going to have Flamingo Friday kickoff. Trustee Hebel, you're famous. I cannot. That's going to be in every state of the village. I just want you to know. May 12th. In the summer, we're going to continue to do the pop-up patch. We're going to have trivia night. We're going to have little displays. Our Grand Prix is going to be back July 27th. Very exciting. We're going to have Brew Fest again at some point in October. Again, hats off to the Park District. We partner with that. And then Illuminate Northbrook. And I know there are probably Rotarians in the group, but we work with the Y and Rotary, and we collect coats, We give away hot chocolate, and we light the lights. So it's a great, great, great community event. All right, what's coming? Toyota on Edens. Toyota on Edens, we entered into a tax sharing program with them, sales tax sharing program, like we do with the car dealers. Typically, they come to town. Toyota on Edens estimates with their new building, they'll increase their annual sales by $1 million a year. Panatone took that 80,000 square foot Walgreens office building in the corner in Northbrook at Sky Harbor, and they're putting in a 400,000 square foot shipping warehouse. They're investing $40 million in our community. We partnered with them to approve a 6B application, and the sales tax revenues over a 10-year period, even though we gave them the 6B tax break, will increase by, how do we even do that? Will increase by $9 million. Sweet dream. I mean, no sales tax break, but they're coming. So Willow Festival, they should open soon. Napolita, oh my gosh, they got their pizza oven installed. It is the most anticipated restaurant in Northbrook. We check in with them every week, I'm not kidding. They're coming, I promise you. We're gonna have the biggest party when they open. Starbucks, Northbrook Bank. You're gonna be walking right across the street to Starbucks. Tesla, we're getting a Tesla dealer. Lifetime, on, the Lifetime in the Elaine on Skokie Boulevard. Tesla has applied to come to the village. Housing Opportunity Development Corporation. Village Board approved last night. We're going to have a 43-unit building in downtown Northbrook for people who have disabilities, people who can live independently, people who need services. And again, these are the children and the siblings of your neighbors and your kids' friends. Cortera is going to be building luxury apartments in downtown Northbrook, 318. And I met with the downtown businesses. Thank you, Kathy, for helping with that. The downtown businesses are incredibly excited. One landowner said to me, it's a no-brainer to have that density of people in the downtown supporting our businesses. And again, remember all those slides back that they told me, they told us, those 1,000 people, we want downtown vibrancy. Erickson Senior Living, they're the applicant for Green Acres. Green Acres is about 130 acres-ish. Rough numbers. Erickson says, hey, we want to build it like a donut. We'll be the whole on 40 acres in the middle, but we want to give the Village of Northbrook 80 acres. And you guys can keep it forever as park, as open land. So it's still pending before the board, but to have a private country club where a very limited number of folks got to go, and to turn 80 acres of that into a public space where the public can use and walk and fish and whatever the park district decides to do with it, pickleball, whatever, is going to be tremendous. And then Brookfield Properties. I'm so close to being able to talk about it. Brookfield Properties is Northbrook Court. We have been working very, very hard with Northbrook Court. I've probably met with Northbrook Court 5-6 times since I've been village president for 18 months. I want to, remember that slide, $3.1 million in sales tax and three something million dollars in property tax to our schools. We have to do everything in our power to preserve that mall. So here, stay connected. There's 1,000 ways to connect to us. You can follow us on social. You can watch for updates. You can sign up for updates on our website. We'll give you alerts, reminders. There's even an app called Simplicity. So please consider signing up. And with that, thank you. I'm done.
Just in a matter of time, we don't want to keep everyone. We really appreciate you coming. If you have more questions or we didn't answer it, feel free to reach out to the chamber or the village. We're happy to help you guys answer any questions about your business here, employees, any of those kinds of things. So thank you so much for coming today. And Kathryn, and your